Welcome back, everyone, to episode 4 of Let's Play Victory at Sea Pacific as the United States. Last time we had a pretty unsuccessful torpedo run, and even more silly about it is the fact that we didn't even really need to do it. It was like a nice test. So we lost an entire flight of our torpedo bombers, and we also lost 4 other individual ones. Honestly, it could have been worse. These are, only mildly effective, I would say. Torpedo bombers, so it wasn't a huge surprise. Task Force 17 is getting a little bit far out of the way compared to where I would hope them to be. So we'll have to be a bit careful chasing down this fleet, but the one precaution I'll take is setting out some more scouts. As always, very important to do this. And I don't know if there's a way to automate this the same way you can automate. Yeah, so forbid launching combat aircraft is not selected, so they're capable of doing it on their own, but they just don't seem to do it on their own. Which is fine. I'm okay with that. That's a really minor complaint, because it's still fun to do. I'm still funneling them out in a particular area. And we did have some help, thankfully, from Making a Toll itself. Unfortunately, Tarawa hasn't been shut down yet, so yeah. Hopefully in this episode we'll have Task Force 3 enter. They're just about to finish their little journey, enter port, and we'll probably eliminate this one last sub, send out another net of ASW. One of the things we should consider doing as well is upgrading Johnston Atoll. I mean, it's far enough back that I think we can preserve it. As in, I don't think it'll fall to an amphibious invasion. And it'd be nice to have, the extra... I mean, the airfield is nothing right now, right? But we can get it up to midway status, so it'll have 10 aircraft. It has to be a major port to get it up to Pearl Harbor status. I don't think that's necessary. The extra capabilities that are offered by a minor port versus a basic port, though, I feel like it's worth it to do. Okay, so let's speed along until we have either our ASW action or our Task Force 17 closes on the enemy convoy. Slowly the airplanes fan out. It's always fun to see. Oh, fleet alert. Aha! Task Force 3. Perfect. Our one of the few things we wanted to get done this episode, it's possible now to do. So good. They're already set to the correct boosting thing. So let's go ahead and go to the bridge. Close that. Switch back to unit info. And now we have 2 fleets here. I want to do some swapping of stuff. I think I can just do it like this. You know what? I think Task Force 3 is just going to merge directly, and then we'll do it like this. Okay, good. So you guys are going to go to Able. We want the Portland to go into Baker. We want the Craven, McCall, and Gridley to go to Baker as well. And I honestly think that might be what we want. These are, I think... Okay, Hopkins is Clemson, Southard is Clemson, Long is Clemson. So Craven is Gridley, McCall is Gridley, Gridley is Gridley. Okay, good. So that's it. Yep, that's perfect. We got the exact formation we want. Set them up. They are now Task Force 22, which is fine. They need to get going then. I don't know where we'll send them, so what I'll do is actually just send them this way for now. Oh my god, no. Go back to port. I have to upgrade. I have to upgrade the Indy before I forget. I think she's back. Is she back in? Yes, there she is. Okay, good. And actually we can upgrade the other destroyers as well, these Clemsons, since they're back now. But priority is absolutely to get the advanced radar and the +3 anti-aircraft. For only 25, it's a bargain. It's not great for a heavy cruiser, but that's probably the reason why we'll keep them as their own separate group. They probably won't come under like concentrated aircraft attack. They're not like a carrier task force, which will really be on the receiving end of the ire of the Japanese Navy. So now that that's done, let's get them to move out. Fantastic. Okay, and now it looks like we're in the race between the the Northampton class, which are pretty slow, and the ASW bombers, which had a hell of a ways to go. The ASW is still going to win that race, which is pretty funny. So we'll take control of those in a moment. We still have this flight of aircraft spotters fanning out to see if anything lies between us and the Marshall Islands themselves. So really the next thing, I guess, is this ASW fight. And one thing I'd like to do, just because I want to roleplay a little bit, that the cost of, or that aircraft do take time to reposition or to call in, is I'm going to have Attu, just in case Coromandelsky comes under attack from something, let's preemptively get a B-17, which should have the range. I'm going to just commit my war bond points to this early because it feels less gamey to buy them immediately when you're already spotted. And let's get the Dauntless to be here, which is going to be basically the last thing we can do buying anything. So we have backups that'll be helpful in case we do encounter a fleet up there, because I'm not putting any of my fleet as a defense for those. Alright, let's see how the drum is doing. She's still pretty much being mirrored by these ships, unfortunately. So I think they're actually still too close, and they're headed this way as well, for us to surface. Yeah, there are two ammunition ships which are not in good shape. This one's even still got a fire burning. Probably not a great thing for an ammunition ship to have a fire aboard. They actually have 2 guns. This is amazing. I'm most familiar with Silent Hunter 3 and the British convoy ships. Task Force, that's fine. Task Force 22 is our Portland class fleet. Anyways, I'm a little surprised though that these are so heavily armed. Was that actually the case with the Japanese Merchant Marine? I don't know. Oh, doesn't matter. Oh, and I think it's time for us to, let's have them fly like basically right over so I know where they should be. Okay, and we'll just move on there. Yeah, you're both at different altitudes. It's not necessary. We can actually see the Northampton fleet. Let's go V instead. The combat box, I think, was messing up the height of the aircraft previously. There she is. Alright, let's deliver a final fatal blow. I hope. And I'm going to have this one attack from a different angle. Ah, we got him. Okay, good. So, no need to do that. You're both instructed to go back and land. I don't know why they're giving me this icon. Landing should be very, 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 Oh, what? Are they asking me, like, what base to go back and land at? Okay, look, forget it then. Just this button. Land. Land. Good. Orders are clear. I think that they're going to go back. And that makes this Task Force 19's job a little bit easier. They can just go to Johnston Island, and we can pick and choose where we want them to go from there. Which means that the Portland class, where did I send them? Just out here. Good. They'll probably go to Wake Island. So we're probably going to have Northampton head down here. 3 heavy cruisers is probably better for defending this area. Whereas the raid formation should be more more disposed for speed. And that's what this is. Look, they're making 39 knots, which is fantastic. The fleet cruising speed is 39 knots. That's amazing. So let's just have them actually move to Wake Island directly. They can scout with their scouting planes when I get closer. And technically we could do the same thing. These guys are almost close enough to do scouting planes themselves. So maybe the drum should just head home and get her radar. We saw that how ineffective she was at spotting, which is one of her goals, one of her jobs, without the radar. So maybe we should just speed up that process. We're so close, you know. Hell, I'm now starting to think, what if we just take the Marshall Islands, invade the Marshall Islands instead of Tarawa? It's a little bit wonky in that Tarawa, we want to secure our flank in a sense. It's very far forward for the Japanese to allow them to operate that, this far east. So I'd like to push them back, but it's like Task Force 17 is already here. Huh. Yeah, they're almost within range. This is, I think, the exact limit of their range. Since I'm moving in the same direction as my scouts, I let them go to their max. I didn't leave any reserve, because the reserve is just the fact that the carrier is moving towards them at the same time. Alright, speed up then. Oh man. Oh, brother. So we have a lot of ASW back. Everything but 2. Yep, let's send out another net. Wow, their range is just insane. We send them out right here. We already did this direction a lot. I'll start doing this direction like this. And this is unnecessary probably because we already had fleets coming this way, but let's just verify that nothing's lying in that direction. We can just keep sending out little sweeping waves. It's probably better to do that, to use 4 in a small cone and keep rotating that arc rather than sending them out in random areas. But we should also use our brain and prioritize. It shouldn't just be random. We should be prioritizing places where they're more likely to come from. So, okay, so again, we now have absolutely nothing on the map, Japanese, except for Tarawa's aircraft, because we have Making Atoll, but also just this one task force. I could have sent dive bombers in again, but let's give the Louisville something to do besides savage, rampage Marshall Islands base defenses. And then we'll get this to go home. And I do think I will be prioritizing Johnston Island's upgrade. It'll be 1,000 war bonds to do that, so pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it. So onward. How close are you to this fleet now? Still a ways. Unfortunately, there's no point in breaking formation. Louisville's already the slowest thing, and she's the one I want to actually handle this engagement, so we'll just continue to wait on that. And we have the aircraft. Okay, so up to speed of 25 we go. Take a drink. And this is how a lot of the theater action would be, I'm sure. It's a lot about planning and waiting. We already have our plan. I suppose the one thing I could continue to consider out loud is whether or not the Task Force 17 should, okay, that's a spotter. They definitely saw my own spotter. But it shouldn't be any mystery. This convoy probably has radioed back. I mean, it's real-time strategy. This is a break from immersion, but I'm sure that they have gotten reports of their convoy being attacked. Oh, okay, now we've officially entered the combat, which is good. Okay, so Yorktown, you're just gonna wait. We'll dispatch the Louisville separately. Unfortunately, she's going to be dispatched at the same time that her aircraft return. How much time do we need for them to return? Hell, I mean, I guess the Yorktown's 5-inch guns, 9 nautical miles, they should outrange. Are they actually coming at me? It's a little bit weird. These guys are just going around in circles. I think they know they're doomed. Even the Phelps can probably deal with them. Probably. Well, I guess as steady as she goes. And you know what? That's something I didn't even consider, is that you can actually surface now. How far is your range? Yeah, way off still. More importantly, how far is your range? Yeah, way off. Okay, good. Let's have the whole formation move this way. Like that. Okay, good. They'll just come into contact and slowly blow those things apart. Louisville shouldn't have any problems. So we'll speed up again. In fact, I guess there's nothing else for us to look at. Let's just go ahead and watch the Louisville do her thing. Oh no. Where are you trying to go, Phelps? God only knows. Line is slowly creeping forward. Whoa, whoa, what the hell? Did we take damage? It's always my worst fear, is that the stupidity of these guys is going to cause them to actually take damage. Okay, I don't know what was going on here, but let's slow you guys down. See, you should just be slowed down as well. Oh, they're... What the hell? One of them was destroyed? Huh. Well, that was not expected. That's okay, though. We'll just repair at port. So let's get the Louisville out of formation, since she's going to do her own thing. She's already doing her own thing. Let's get these guys. Just don't want to take damage. It'd be really stupid to take damage from some merchant ships. Whereas I don't think the Louisville can even be affected by damage. One, two, three, four, five. Perfect. Okay. So besides losing that one scout plane for reasons I'm not exactly aware of, I think we're okay. You guys are going to form back up. I'm not going to watch. I don't want to know what goes on. Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. I think that we're just going to have Task Force 17 take over Marshall Islands, in which case you should head back all the way over to Pearl Harbor. And you guys will be moving to Marshall Islands now. And that means that Northamptons are going to move towards Tarawa, both to scout and eventually to amphibiously invade, but that's a long ways off. Okay, so let's whoa, 500, speed 500, much more than I wanted. I like to be able to make little course corrections, little micromanagement decisions throughout. Oh, so Carrier Task Force Able is already going here. Oh, okay, view on map. Whoops. Pause. Ah, 5 more submersibles. Well, unfortunately, I just sent the majority of my ASW out. These guys are pretty darn close, but hey, you know what? We have a bunch of Clemsons. Did they get their upgrade yet? I may not have upgraded them, but hey, now's the time. They did not. Okay, so let's go ahead and spend 30. 1, 2, 3. Got our 30. These guys are upgraded, ready to go, and what better time than the present to test out what that means. Whoops. As usual, we'll be sending out a lot of ASW as the primary source of engagement for these guys. And that should correct itself in a moment. Good. Okay, so that's exciting. We looked in the wrong area for the submarines, I guess. They were like, what, I guess off of the big island or something? We sent our ASW over here. Didn't find anything in this little sweep, but... Okay, well that's fine. Now, we probably need to continue scouting, even though we're losing aircraft to the scouting, which is bizarre. One this way. I'm a little nervous about what's north of us, because that's also our retreat path. So I might actually spend the time, well, I guess we need to send one to the west. We could just as easily be hit from the west. We don't know. We don't know anything. The unknown is terrible. So we'll get the normal cone in the direction we're heading. And in some sense, Task Force 5, the USS drone, will be able to scout ahead. USS fleet, okay. Good. And they're en route, very good. I'm not even sure where these guys are going. I'm not sure if they're not moving or if they're, like, are they picketing there? Who knows? Exciting to get that warning though, my goodness. Every time you get a warning that an enemy fleet is spotted, it's like, oh my gosh, is it the carriers? If so, we have a lot of reacting to do. Actually, you know what was it? Ah! Okay, 2 light cruisers. Good to know. So we have 5 torpedo boats, which are not necessarily the worst defense against light cruisers. That's not terrible. I waited my whole life for this moment. It's forbid launching combat aircraft. Where's this Kingfisher? Where are you? Are you home? For land. Oh, you're not home. Immediately return home because we'll swap you out for the dive bombers, which we now have. And I planned ahead, so I don't feel too gamey about doing that. We can assume that they flew in from the mainland or whatever. These ASW are going to engage. That's good. I'm not even going to watch that this time. We've seen them do their work enough that we'll presume that they can just be effective in that capacity. Okay, so this is what's up next. As soon as you land, you're going to take a while to get back. That Kingfisher spotter there near Kamchatka. Task Force 17 is approaching. Oh. Uh-oh. Very cool. So now we have a real engagement. 3 destroyers, 1 cruiser. Well, this is dangerous, right? I'm so glad we sent our spotters out. This is wonderful. This, like, makes me feel good. Let's see what they're reporting. fleet. Is this 2 fleets? And Marshall, interesting. And this is from a distance a light cruiser. Okay, that's not too much. That's not too bad. A destroyer. Yeah, so it's 3 destroyers and the light cruiser. Alright, well, I think that this is... I might actually again use my torpedo bombers. I can always put bombs on them. They'll be very effective. The dive bombers will be very effective against this group. Let's see. Okay, if I put 2 dive bombers per destroyer, I can't. Yeah. We need to thin the herd out. But actually, we don't care about the destroyers so long as we get the light cruiser, because I'm putting a lot on the shoulders of the Louisville, but ammo, God, we need some ammo for the return. What if we encounter something without enough ammunition? That's not good either. Really cool decisions here. All right, let's make a command decision. Let's keep it moving. So we've got to pretend. I should never bring it down below 1 unless I'm doing like a terminal attack with torpedo bombers or something like that. But when I'm trying to make a decision, I should always have a ticking clock to make a decision with. That'll add some fun to it and put a little pressure on me. Well, I think that the guns of the Louisville are not that important. The ammunition situation is less important than... Like, what's the Yorktown situation in terms of... I need to see her ammunition status. She has mostly shells. She has not used like any bombs. She has plenty of aerial torpedoes left. Yeah, she's doing good in like every aspect. The Yorktown, her stores are perfectly okay. So it's really just about losing the the aircraft itself. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna send some. No. We gotta dive bomb the light cruiser. Yeah, I'm gonna send 5 dive bombers off. You know what? I'll send 7. Off you go. So luckily we don't have to turn very far to be north. In fact, we're in the correct angle already, which is great. So the dive bombers are gonna get their turn to have some fun. And I'm happy with this decision. Task Force 5 is apparently... Where are you? Where's Task Force 5? God, the drum is slow. Oh, she's going home, of course. We actually want to switch her fleet to be boosting morale so that she doesn't lose as much morale. Good. Oh, Hunter of the Deep, cool. This captain is a seasoned veteran of submarine warfare, venerated by his compatriots and feared by his enemies. For 20 seconds, every submarine in this ship's fleet gains doubled accuracy and an increased chance of dealing damage. Wow, quite nice. I don't really know how the subtext and the description, the name fits in with the actual game effect. Do torpedoes suffer from inaccuracy? Because I know weapons do. This seems like a gun deck type thing. Or maybe, I don't know. Huh. Well, it's good to have. Better to have it than not to have it. And one thing I have neglected is how is... Yep, still ways away. Okay, well. Now we wait. So just the fact you have to wait this, it's like really cool, this delay when you're, get everyone back into formation. This whole delay when you're waiting on, you guys get up to 3,500 as well. This whole delay when you're waiting on information, waiting for the dive bombers to come back. I really, really like this side of the game. Okay, nothing happening there. And we're probably close enough to go into the battle here. Indeed. Okay, so I want a whole three of them tasked with the light cruiser. And then we're just going to pick 2 of the other destroyers. And we're paused. So let's let all that divvying up of stuff happen. You guys are all going, oh my god, no. Pause. Okay, 36. Back up to 36 or so. Okay, good. So now we're splitting up into our teams. Do some minor course corrections here. That looks good. That looks good as well. Okay, so we'll take basically the back 3, I guess. Like, I kind of need the light cruiser to be attacked first. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack these 3 because our path out should be to drop and then turn east. So we don't worry about this Tayo. Whoops. Getting lag there for a second. So we need you guys, although this is the most important one to hit correctly, we do need the other ones to... They're going to be the first in if we're not careful. In fact, you guys are going to be the first in, which is going to take the lead. Let's have you guys do this. Whoops. Alright, so you guys are dropping on the Gojo. Go ahead and make your final approach. You guys are dropping on the Zuki. Go make your final approach. God, no, no, not again. And I actually need this group of 3 to slow down a bit. They should be behind the other ones. Where are the other ones? Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. There we go. Good, 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 good. And now this 3. Need to wait a little bit longer. Okay, go. That's pretty well coordinated, or at least as good as I'm going to get it. I really like the dive bombing a lot better. The fact that I don't have to micromanage, God, it's just beautiful too. So here we go. Dauntless formation approaching target, beginning final terminal descent. Gojo in sights. Yep, perfect, just about perfect. Everyone's diving on target at the same time. Most important one to send fleeing east-southeast is the middle group. Approaching target. Bombs away. One hit. Hit and kill. Okay, flee north. Flee southeast. Hit, kill. Everything, all of targets were destroyed that are aimed for. This is great. Great, very good news. Okay, good. So we can send these guys home now as well. Fantastic. And we have one destroyer who's just like... Maybe this is really cool if he's going to pick up survivors. He's already done for, though. Little does he know. That was wonderful. So very effective. And you know what? When the dive bombers come back, we can probably dispatch another 2 or so, maybe 3, to go finish off this last one. Again, our bomb situation is fine. It's probably better for us to be safe than dead. Probably better to be safe than dead. Man, to think Truck Lagoon is so close. I'm really surprised that we've been getting away with this. But that was amazing because we didn't lose. I don't think we lost a single. We didn't lose a single. Oh, we did. We lost one of our dive bombers, but that's, I would say, acceptable. An acceptable loss. Well, I'm not sure why it shows the truck pointing that from. I mean, the drum pointing that direction. Should obviously be going that way. Now, have we returned? This is actually going to be really close. Okay, dispatch our... You know what? Actually, I'm going to leave the torpedo boats at base because I'm going to hope that when they start making their run, hopefully we'll be able to use them as like distractions while the coastal guns can actually do some damage. Okay, Task Force 23 has encountered the enemy submersibles. Good. Let's enter combat. Let's go line formation, which is actually, let's go column formation, which makes more sense to me. That way we can easier. It should be easier to avoid torpedoes. And these guys have already dropped, or yeah, they've already dropped. Did damage to one of them. You still have your payload. Hey, you still have your payload. What the heck are you guys doing? Alright, let's manually control them then, so that if they had some difficulty. The dive bombers are trying to get into the action. Look! I probably should have forbid them from launching, but too late. Okay, attack this. You attack this. And so formation, move to target. They're diving deep. Well, you know what? We could just run at the ones at the surface. That's fine for me as well. Oh, this one now. No, the weak one, I don't want to destroy that one. Let's go for the rear one, which might be even more dangerous. Yeah, so we're able to see all of them now. Are they actually at the surface, though? Like, I-22 is actually at the surface, which is strange. They will be able to use their anti-aircraft guns then. Nope, they're diving. What are you doing? Shoot. Oh, it should be at the bottom? The hell? We need an ASW with almost a full tank. Well, I guess I can just manually control. So you stay at 30. Here we go. Drop, 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 drop. 3, 2, 1, go. It's terrible. It was absolutely dreadful. Holy cow. Do I have to manually control these guys? That was terrible too. At least he hit. Sheesh. Alright, I think these guys, yeah, they're coming. That's just silly. Just go land. What are you gonna do? Hell no, just go land. Oh my god, you can land in 2 different places, so you're giving me this option again. Oh my god, why did we have 3 of them? Okay, Okay, individually land. Probably gonna have some casualties doing this. Just I'm so worried that I'm just gonna click back on. Give me my destroyers. Oh, brother. So we did like nothing with those. Alright, Pearl Harbor, you're forbidden. Stupid AI, you're forbidden from launching things until I can get this sorted out myself. Move forward, and I see it's been 40 minutes in this episode, so you know what, we'll probably end up... Okay, yeah, you guys are going home now. Very good. And, no, really, I do want you to land. Please land. This ASW can land. Good. They are. It's fantastic. No, there's nothing else we have to worry about right now. Oh, this one destroyer. Okay, well, that's also good. Let's be safe. Let's just send 3 dive bombers out to take out the destroyer. Again, bombs is not a huge situation right now. We can always go back to Johnston Island and repair. I think I set that to mid priority. Maybe even I should set it to high priority. But until it's at least a minor port, I won't. Guess these guys are landing. I don't want to know. I'm afraid that my looking will disturb it. So we'll call this episode to a close here. Next episode, we'll finish off another fleet, I should say, of submersibles. And it looks like that these guys are probably going to finish the job. I don't think I have to micromanage them, and it probably isn't necessary for us to look at that. Actually, the main thing I need to kind of pay attention to is when of these destroyers are getting close. So they've been given an order to move, but we don't know where the submarines are. So what I'm going to do is just call this video to a close here. I'll pause, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the rest of that. So for now, thanks for watching, and take care.